If I had $1,000.
If I had $1,000.
What's up, everybody? John from Old Reading Farm here. Thanks for joining us. In today's video, we're going to go through and show you what we would do with $1,000 to spend on the homestead. Now, we've seen a couple different videos in like the beauty YouTuber world where they do like, buying makeup and stuff like that. We're not doing that. So like if $1,000 fell into our laps, this is the shopping spree that we would do for stuff on the homestead. Let's get started. And so we're also going to tag a couple of our good buddies on here. Josh from the City Stead. He's doing a great job with his urban homestead. He set up a great little garden. He does awesome things with cattle panels and, really helps show you what you can do with a really small space, in a city environment while still doing homesteading things and being self-sufficient. And then we're also going to tag our friends, Even the Sparrow Homestead, Dustin and Jess. They're great people, super nice, doing great things with the garden, and they're kind of on our same level. They're growing the homestead, trying to do, a lot more self-sufficient things, and they're a great couple to watch out for. So we want to see how they're going to spend their $1,000, so we're going to tag them in this collaboration, and we'll link them down in the description below. So be sure at the end of the video to check them out. So both my wife and I, usually we're on the same page with some things, or she is the boss and tells me what to do. But in this one, we're going to have a little friendly competition. So I'm going to put together a shopping spree for myself, and she's going to put together a shopping spree for herself. And we'd like your opinions on whose is not necessarily better, but whose is better. So anyway, and since I'm the face of this channel, I would really appreciate it if you guys would take the time and vote for me. So what we'd like you to do is leave us a comment down below and just say who you think had the better list and why.
Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Kat. So I'm going to go over my list of the things that I would want to buy if I was going to have $1,000 fall into my lap. And I hope you would like these things too. So the first thing is from Wild Boar Farms. What I basically did was put one of every single tomato that they offer. Not every single tomato, because I had to trim a few to stay within budget. But this is almost every single tomato that they offer. The reason that I picked this was because we've never grown any tomatoes from Wild Boar Farms, and I think that's sort of illegal in the homesteading world. So they offer a ton of interesting colors and shapes and stripes and sizes and all different things. So I thought it would be fun for us to like trial grow basically all of these and see, kind of what's going on. So that was the first thing I picked out. And so once I built a cart that had an appropriate amount of seeds in it, that came to $164. So that's my first thing. Second thing I picked out was this grow light. We have a few grow lights. They're sort of small and cheap. This is a really big, nice, fancy one, and it's actually the one that You Can't Eat the Grass uses and grows with. And if you look at her seedlings, they are like choice, on point. So it's a little bit spendy, but I think it's kind of worth the investment at this point. We did a big seedling sale this spring out at the end of our little farm stand, and we need to start a lot of seeds. So this is $139, which I know is a lot, but this is an imaginary $1,000, so that's what we're going with. Okay, so that's my second item. And then this one I thought was pretty cool. What I had originally thought about when I was imagining how I would want to spend a whole bunch of money is Floret offers a flower farming course, but that is $2,500, so didn't quite fit into the budget. So this is a smaller farmer for flowers course. It's $159. It's a 4-hour course where they go over things like no-till and business design and all kinds of things. It's taught by two people who own little micro flower farms, which is kind of what we're trying to do. So I think that this would be a good thing for us to get better at flower farming. Plus I think it would be fun to learn all this stuff from people who really know what's up. So that's my next item. And then this is my last item. This is an incubator that really steps up our incubation game. We already have a Brinzea, but this one has a higher egg capacity, and it also has an automatic turner, which would be nice. So I think it would be fun to grow out more of Norman's little babies because they're so stinking cute. So this is $539. That's obviously the biggest chunk of my budget. But I think it would be nice to have a really bigger, nicer incubator. So if you add up all these things, it comes to $1,001. So I think that's pretty good, pretty close. So I hope you like my ideas. This is how I would spend $1,000. Vote for me. This is Norman right here. And if you vote to get a new incubator, Norman will get to have more babies. Those are some of his babies back there. Aren't they cute? Look at, see the frizzle? Don't you want to see more frizzles? Oh look, here's another frizzle down here. A vote for me is really a vote for Norman. Norman the rooster.
You're cheating!
I'm not cheating.
I'm not going to put that in the video.
You're putting it in.
No, I'm not. Go! Alright, so first up on my list, which is very important, are these thick rubber stall mats from Tractor Supply. Super important for the alpaca barn. You know, we had stone dust down on the bottom, and then we put hay on top of it recently when we just had an overabundance of hay, and it just gets messy. The liquids just kind of coagulate and become disgusting, and it's a little more difficult to pick up the solids. With the hay, it just becomes a lot, and then we end up composting a lot of hay. And with the stone dust, it ends up gets really heavy and hard to clean out on a daily basis. So, rubber stall mats, number one. Number two, this Bully Tools broad fork. So, we set up 3 market gardens this year. This fiberglass broad fork is going to be perfect for disturbing the ground, and replenishing the compost that we laid down into the soil, making the soil real nice without killing all the little microorganisms that make the soil good. And it'll also make it nice and soft when we're ready to start planting next season. Bully Tools broad fork. Number 3, and this sort of gets into the John likes tools category, but it's this chainsaw mill from Chainsaw Direct. We just had a bunch of old and dead trees taken down on our property, and the guys, we had them just leave the big logs in certain parts. So now we have just, you know, big huge logs sitting over there, and we always have a need for timber, and we're also building a fence using some live edge leftover slabs from our friend at the sawmill. And those will come in really handy for fencing, and since we always kind of have a need for fencing, we were also talking about re-siding all of our raised garden beds so that they have a consistent look. And this would be a great way to do it. It's inexpensive, it fits the chainsaw that we already have, and I think it would be a lot of fun. And everybody likes John to have fun, right? I have fun, it's better videos, it's cooler videos. I mean, think of the videos that I could make with this chainsaw mill. Doesn't that just sound super interesting? Anyway, so the next thing on my list is maybe another John fun one, but it's actually very practical. It's this 15 amp 10-inch sliding compound miter saw. The reason why this would be helpful is because I often find myself just using my circular saw to cut, whereas a miter saw would be more beneficial, but the one that we have does not slide. It's got the same 10-inch blade, so it only cuts, you know, up to a certain size. This would allow us to cut up to 12 inches cross-cut, which would be really nice, you know, with those longer, with those wider materials. You know, if we have a 2x6, this will cut right through it. So this would be super handy. It would be really great to have just a little bit of an upgrade in our miter saw, and it'll also go really well with this miter saw quick stand that goes right with it. So we're actually in the process of turning our garage into living space, and so that means that where I previously stored a whole bunch of trash, garbage, and stuff that I didn't need, I also stored all my tools in there, and I did do some work in there. Now, I don't have that anymore, so it would be beneficial if I had a miter saw stand that I could use to work outside. I have a closet that I'm going to store all my tools in now, and so this would be great to just stick in there, and when I have work to do, I can just pull it out, set up the miter saw, and get going. So anyway, so that's my list. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and do some math here. So for the rubber stall mats, those are $44.99, and I'm going to need 8 of those. So it's $359.92. The broad fork is $99.99. The chainsaw mill is $124.99. There's also some shipping on that. We'll calculate that at the end.
Oh, I wasn't going to count shipping.
We're not counting shipping. All right, so the miter saw is $219. And then the quick stand is $169. So look at that. I actually come under $1,000, but that's probably good because I'll figure I'll need at least one new chainsaw chain. So I'll probably be right at $1,000, if not maybe a little bit over. So anyway, that's my list. Again, from the bottom of my heart. Think of all the cool stuff I can do. But look at all these logs. For $100, imagine the cool things that we can do with all this. Check out our bees. I mean, I can't believe that our bees have to live in this kind of environment. It's ridiculous. Look, they're protesting on the front of their hives. Hot in there. All right, thank you guys very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. Remember to leave us a comment with your vote for who won this competition. Be sure to give us a like, and as always, please subscribe. Thanks for stopping by.